I can't decide if I want to bother with the camera or not. I just took a shower. I'm out of like hair product. My room is like, yeah, I'm just gonna turn this thing off. Um, my posture, really the posture is what's bothering me because it's from an angle, and I'm like, just my posture looks fucking awful. And I have to lean forward for the microphone. So I'm just gonna turn this off. And yeah, oops, not that one, this one. So we had a pipe burst in our house, and it like it's like all ruined and shit. The insurance is gonna cover it, but like we spent 2 weeks like with we were sleeping all together in my kids' room because it was the only bedroom that didn't get affected. Um. Anyway, let me make sure the stream is going. Okay, it is. So I watched. There's a really good video that Andras Toth just put out, and it changed the way I look at the game. You can see that. No, it's not going to show me my thingy. Hold on, let me try to find something. I just want to show you my puzzle rating chart. Yeah, like this is when I watched this video by Andras Toth, and I just my puzzle rating just going way up. Um, because I'm just approaching it completely differently now, to be honest with you. I'll do some puzzles here. I want to just like I've been having a lot of fun doing them too, and then I'll play some games on Lichess. It's a lot harder to do this in a game, but anyway. And it's nothing groundbreaking. Like basically, the idea is you actually calculate everything. You don't just say, okay, well, this is probably it, and do it. You actually calculate everything. So I'm not moving pieces until I know the whole line, basically. All right, let me just look at this real quick before I start talking. I'm pretty good at talking as I think, but as far as like assessing the initial candidate moves or whatever, I just want to look quietly real quick. I'm looking at this check. I think this is probably the move, and what I would have usually done is that okay, yeah, that's probably the best move, and I would just do it, and then wait and see what the computer does, and then I would calculate from there. But what I'm going to do is actually calculate, and I'll say before I move this knight, assuming that's what I do, I'll figure out what's going to happen because that's what you're supposed to do. So when I check there, so it's worth noting that by well, I'm going to check here. They could flee to this square, but my queen is supported by my rook, and that would be pretty bad for them. So I don't think that's happening. They cannot flee to this square, so it has to be here. So the king is going to go here, and then I want to figure out what I do from there. Probably queen h7, which forces the king to d6. If I go check here, check, here. I'm missing something. Check here. Yeah, check here. Um, actually, check here. The queen can go here or here. I just want to keep that in mind. Check here. No, no, they can't go here. It's here. Here. Just let's say I go here. I don't see a downside of going here. I feel like it gives me more reach. Maybe, no, probably not. Then their king is fled to here. And this is where I get trouble. Like this is I have to visualize the board here and find the continuation from this visualized board position is where I'm currently struggling trying to be able to do. So like what checks do I have in this hypothetical position? I can go knight to f7, which also forks the queen. So that it might not be a checkmate. It might just be you take the queen. But let's figure out and make sure. Knight f7, check. That is also blocking my queen, so they could theoretically go. They're probably not going to want to go back toward me, but like this seems like a safe square kind of. I'm guessing it's just about the queen fork, honestly. Um, they go here. I do have check on there. They probably go here to defend. Oh, actually, the fork they can just defend their queen, but I mean, obviously they're gonna lose. Like, I'm trading a knight for the queen. That's fine. But say they want to go defend their queen. I have this check here, which say they go to like b8. Then I take their queen. It's looking really murky. I'm thinking it's just about the fork, honestly. Yeah, let's just try that. I think I'm gonna go for that fork. This is actually really vexing to me because I don't think this actually matters. Like, but now that I'm seeing having to move the piece, I'm thinking like there's probably only one that's correct. And if it's just about this fork, I don't think it like I feel like this is a trap or something. Like if I go here, because here I'm supported by the rook. Here I'll actually allow my rook to come in, which is maybe more important. I don't know. Let's go with what I calculated. Oh, okay. And here's where it gets hard. Like, I said they're probably gonna want to go back. They don't. So yeah, I like as I calculated, I can just take the queen. And I guess it makes sense. They don't need to defend with their king because the rook is here anyway. But now that they've put the king so much like closer to my stuff, I'm wondering if I want to try to see if there's anything better. I mean, the thing right now is their queen is hanging, so anything better has to be really good. Like this doesn't look good at all. I don't have a check that doesn't. What does this check do? Hmm. I mean, it basically has to lead to a checkmate to be worth it. So check here. They the thing is like my queen can't really get in because everything is defended. This isn't defended, but I mean, like, I go here, check, and if the king goes like any of these squares, they're defending it, you know, and I'm not gonna. There's no other cover on that square. So check here. They. My point is basically that after the check and their king moves again, I don't have another forcing move. Like this doesn't work. This is defended twice. Whoops. This. Oh, that kind of does work, doesn't it? Depends where they go, right? But all right, let's say I do that. They go. I don't know if they go to e5 or d6. Like they both seem reasonable to me. E5 feels a little bit scary, and I can't calculate it. I'm just gonna take this queen. Yeah, that was it. So seeing this was higher than my rating, like this felt really hard for me. When it throws me an easier one, I generally can get it faster. But I'm really glad I spent the time and got that one, you know, instead of just like giving up on it or whatever. Because it took me a long time, right? Um, a lot of times when I start a puzzle, I like to look at something like how much threat am I under like right now? Are they gonna like if I don't find a super forcing line, are they just gonna checkmate me? And the answer is no. Like I'm not under serious threat, but like obviously this is a little bit precarious. So I have quite a few checks available. I'm just gonna start calculating them out. Like I have this one because that's defended by the rook. Um, I have this one because of the rook. So I want to calculate those. This one. They can flee to f1 or f3. That's it. If they go to f1, I'm going to play rook e, e3. And I think that's checkmate. So they're not going to go there. They're going to go to f1, which is a light square. My bishop's not going to be able to touch it there. And it's defended 3 times. So I suspect that that is incorrect. Bishop f, bishop g3. They have to go also to f1. I think that's the only place they can go. Yeah, they have to go to f1 if I go bishop g3. Um, but again, that seems like running into a problem where what do I have there? It doesn't feel like I have anything. Because they go there and then I can do something like that. But like that's not gonna win me like the game when also it's worth remembering here like if I go off to take a pawn they can take this rook with check, so that tells you that that's not the right line, right? So here do I have what else do I have, man? This is a bit weird. f3, f1. What if I just do this? Like just check, just calculate it. If I go here, I check. They have to take back with the rook on a1. And then I take it again. Because I mean, this is happening, right? Then I take it again, and um, they just take with their king, and then I have nothing whatsoever. I have this. This is maybe the. I don't know when I'm going to put that in, but like say I go e2 and then they go to f1 and then I just do this. Does that help me? Then they just play rook g h1, right? I feel like that doesn't accomplish anything whatsoever. I'm really struggling on this one. I thought I thought this was going to be easy when I first looked at it, but now I truly cannot figure out what you can do against that in both with both moves. I don't see how you get the knight, how you attack the knight at all from that position. And I don't see another check. And like obviously the bishop is meant to do something here. Very obviously, right? Check here, he goes here. I guess it's worth noting that once I get the king out, I can go here with my bishop. I don't see how that does anything because I don't really, the queen is still there. That just looks like they'll take with the queen and attack here or whatever. I mean, doesn't look good. Like part of me is more tempted to calculate these sacrifice ideas, but like it just seems incredibly unlikely to do anything. Well, this is insane. I can't make any progress on this. Like I just don't see it. So so what do I do there? I just don't see it. I could that just I can't disconnect the rooks, man. Like that's not like I'm and honestly, like even attacking this and just letting it move here doesn't help me. I'm gonna at 10 minutes. I'm just gonna move a piece and see if that's what they actually do. Like I feel like I'm badly reading this somehow, and I'm just not able to see what I need to see. Go check there. Take with the rook. take with the rook, take with the king. I have no pieces left. They can't take with the king. This if this bishop is here, check. This isn't check, by the way. Check. This is check. Check. Here, here, check. They have to take with the rook. I take back with my rook. I take back with my rook. And their rook is blocked when I take back with my rook. And their king is stuck here. I think this is the line. So then I think I'm saying this right, but if I'm not, I'm just it's going to be bad. But anyway, so then they have to move their king back, I think, to f2. Yeah, back to f2. But now my bishop is here. They can't go back to f2 though. No, they can't go back to f2. Is that somehow checkmate? Holy shit. This is wild. If this is okay, I said 10 minutes. I'm going to calculate the line again one more time and then try it. Check, check. Take with rook. I take with my rook. Check again, but now they cannot take back. And they, yeah, and they can't take because this is defended, so they can't take it at all. They can't go back to f2 because the bishop is on the diagonal, and they're already there. This is they can't go here either because it's a rook. So I think it's checkmate. Yeah, that is so sick. Look at that 1645, man. And you know, like I was, and this is the breakthrough I made basically is that I just told myself I will calculate it, and like I did say at 10 minutes I was going to give up, but like what I actually ended up needing to do was just I needed to calculate that sacrifice. It seemed like it wasn't going to do it, but until you calculate it, you can't see that. Like you're not you can't make a sacrifice like that without knowing how it's going to work. And so if the puzzle requires a sacrifice like that and you don't actually calculate it properly, you're not going to find it and you're just going to make the wrong move. Okay, these endgame puzzles are always really hard for me. I usually do well at them, but they're very like nerve-wracking. Because you just have to calculate everything accurately. Like it's like move by move pawn racing type stuff. So c4 looks like the thing that is probably the most likely to be good. If I play c4, they go d4 probably. They have no hope of stopping my pawn from advancing with the king escorting it after I play c4. So I don't see it making sense for them to go back. Going back, what that means is that I have to keep moving my king as well if they go back. Whereas if they go forward, I can just push the pawn. But now I'm looking at more and it's like if if they move away and just let me push the pawn and their idea is to try to promote faster than me, it's not going to work because my pawn is already further out. So let me just see when I promote what the board state is going to be. C4, 10, 10. I don't know how people calculate like pawn racing without touching it or like, like mentally moving. So I'm doing the dun, dun, dun. Wait, there's a check here. He moves off and then go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. I promote right here when they're still on G7. As soon as I promote, I don't have a check. If they, yeah, I won't have a check when I promote. Um, so let me see. I'm just gonna check. They move off. check, they move off, then I get to go again, then they go. Check, they move off, then I go again, then they go. Then I go, then they go, then I go. Okay, I promote like early enough that I can stop their promotion. The only other thing that I want to calculate now is if I play c4 check and they keep their queen on the defense, or their king on the defense, am I actually able to just push, push, push? And does that change anything? It shouldn't, because the tempo, anytime they move the king to try to mess with me, is just not pushing the pawn one more time. So it should be tempo neutral, right? Like say I go c3 check and they play just a sec. Where do I just go? If I play c4 check, she's coming. Okay, I don't think she's coming actually. So here I just did the thing I'm not supposed to do. I didn't actually calculate it. I just said, okay, well this probably is fine because my next move will be a check, is what I said. When I was talking to myself, and it was just like, yeah, I'll just check him here, and then it's fine because my king is here, blah blah blah. But no, like I didn't calculate it, and if I just play here, he can just block my promotion, and I won't be able to get my king in there. And then this one is further than this one. So I believe I'm probably needing to play b2 right now because that blockades all of these, and their king can't really do anything productive there. And also, most importantly, is it blocks this square too. So I go here, and there's nothing they can actually do to slow my promotion. And then it will still be tempo neutral because I'll check. Like it will feel at first like, oh, well, they're getting an extra move, but they're not. Okay, so that's the move. Yeah, look again, 1666. Like, but that's the thing is like you got to calculate it. You can't just be like, oh yeah, yeah, just move the pawn check, blah blah, and you're like, oh fuck, because you didn't actually think about what they're gonna do in their next move. Okay, this is checkmate, right? Yeah. So this is again like just knowing that my move needs to be really good because it needs to be really forcing because if I just do a random like setup move, they're gonna checkmate me. Okay. I mean, I'm seeing a low impact fork as my first candidate move. Um, but obviously, I don't just want to do that because it's very, like I said, like I'm gonna be checkmated, so this is very low impact. Um, like if I just do this and they go wherever, and then I take the bishop, then my queen is out here and I'm facing checkmate. So that's not going to be it, right? So the question is like, does this get me in position better to actually do something or checkmate, not take the bishop? And it might because I have a pawn here. So if I go here, check, where does my opponent go? here, which is a problem because I control that. So I think this is probably the answer. They can go to a5. Hmm. Yeah, a5 really does get them out, doesn't it? Like, um, check a5. No, it doesn't. I can just play b4. Check a5. Is that their? What else can they do? Okay, those. But we know both of those get them checkmate. Is it checkmate though? No, no, no. No, they can go to a6. But then I play queen b6 checkmate. So I think this is the move. Because those are their only two escape options, and they both lead directly to checkmate. They have two legal moves after c4 check, and both of them are, it's like mate in 2 or 3. It's going to end up being like mate in 3, I think. See, I shouldn't say it, I think, like, I knew it, right? I guess the only question I had was like, was I miscalculating when I first gave check here? Was I miscalculating the fact that they only could go here or here? And I kept checking and didn't see that I was miscalculating it, but I still was hesitant to sound too certain. Um, no, it's in here, but whatever. This is really messy looking, isn't it? It's messy because I don't have any checks that I can give. I was gonna say easy checks, but actually I don't think I have any. Like, there's not actually a check, even a really bad looking one, like a sacrifice. There's no even sacrifice check. There's just like a bunch of and there's not even any clean captures either. Like there's no, I could like take a pawn. So it's pretty crazy. Feels like a higher rated puzzle that I'm gonna have to really think on. Okay, so notably, like they were here and they didn't take my rook. Like, was there a piece here? Was this my queen? I wish it would show you that. It shouldn't matter, but like, just as for part of my understanding the board state, like, why are you not taking the rook? My only conclusion is that there was a, I guess it could have been a knight or something, right? Like, now they're attacking my rook, and it could have been anything basically because this is no, there's a pawn here, so it's probably not like they took a knight to do this, although that does open a file for them. Let's just assume there was a piece here that they wanted to take and they assumed the trade was worth it. Um, Assuming the trade is worth it means that taking back with the pawn is probably like not the move, right? Um, and knowing the rook is under attack, we can conclude that the answer, the thing we're going to do, needs to be really forcing and good. It can't just be like winning a pawn, like winning a. I guess they don't winning their bishop, for example, because we can take the bishop right now. We can take either bishop right now, by the way. So it's not going to be like the reward of the puzzle is I take a bishop, right? So it is probably something like winning a rook or whatever. All right. Rook f8 is looking like the most obviously forcing thing that I can find. I guess the most forcing I can find is C1, rook C1. I mean, can I do anything against that though? No. That would just be a really bad move. I can't see any way to gain advantage from that. So anything else really forcing? I mean, like something like rook f2 is pretty. I mean, it's forcing just because it's gonna give them a free rook, but like look, you got to look at they have to take the rook with the king. Does that give me an opening? And I don't see an opening from that actually. Like yeah, it brings their king out, but from the way my pieces are right now, losing a rook to bring their king here, it is not actually giving me anything. So I don't think that's it. Um, and none of the knight moves are like particularly, like what am I just gonna give up my knight for nothing? Am I gonna put it here so that they have to take with their pawn? I mean, that doesn't them taking with that pawn doesn't really do anything for me. Um, this is like a move I might play. Oh no, it just hangs. It just hangs it. Yeah, so it's it can't really be a knight move. It feels like I just have to move this rook, and um, this is the most obvious thing to do. So if I go here, they can't counterattack it because this is defending. Um, they could just take the pawn though. Oh, that's still defending. So they have to move the bishop away if I go here. The problem for me with that is like, okay, they move the bishop away, and then what? Like seriously, what do I get out of that? Um, where are they moving the bishop to? Actually, let me think. To D4, I think. No, because then I take. Oh, is the bishop trapped? Is the bishop trapped? No, they can go bishop e5. Yeah. Okay, so say I go rook f8 and they play bishop e5. Um, now now I play knight. Bishop e5 knight. What can my knight fucking do, man? I play knight f3. Because it opens up the F file. Is that insane? And then with the F file opened, I have two rooks pointed at f2. And what is that it? Fucking Christ, if that's it, man. It's my visualization at that point is so hazy. Like I'm really stretching myself to try to visualize that. Okay, so what I'm talking about is if I play rook f6, they go here because if they can't go here or here because they'll get taken. Whoops. So they go here, I go here, here, here. Then I jump in like this, and if they do nothing, like if they ignore my knight for some reason, and I play knight e2, and they want to take, they're gonna lose the exchange. And after them losing the exchange, they have their hanging pieces anyway. So it's not like I said at the beginning of this, if it's just winning an exchange, it's not the solution. So they take with the pawn, and then I play, and once they take with the pawn, I have two rooks pointed at f2. They just have a bishop on e5, which is blocking their. No, it's not blocking anything. But anyway, I have two rooks pointed there, and they just have the bishop here, and their rook is still here. So with my two rooks pointed there, this is an undefended square. So if they try to like bring a rook in to defend it, it will just get taken, and my rooks will be lined up. So, um, okay, how do they stop that? Actually, if they don't stop that, if my rooks are lined up, can I force a checkmate? Is my question. My rooks aren't lined up yet, though. They're just threatening to line up, is like another part of it. So when my rooks are threatening to line up, like what can they do? Can they just. Hmm, like you get what I'm saying? If I go when I go here, it's so hard to visualize this, dude. It's so hard. But okay, so starting over, I'm actually trying to explain, not even visualize right now. Um, here, 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 and now if they don't take, I go here, which is check. And what does that even do though? Like if I go there, like is that really? I was assuming I was just assuming that was good, but if they just move their king out of the way or something, like what am I going in from there? You know what I mean? Yeah, like say I go here and they just go. Uh, what moves do they even have like that are relevant? I think I have to. I think I have to give up on this one. I think this is a high level. Maybe it's or maybe I'm reading it wrong, but like I'm just gonna do my move and see if they do what I'm thinking about. Because I really did calculate that line. No, it's not right. Okay, it was a high rated one. I mean, now that I've given like I lost, like I just want to try to see if any other thing I thought about might be good. Um, I mean, the obvious, just taking one of the bishops is probably something I just want to look at and see if that's what it is. It was, okay. So I take the hanging one and they bail out with their bishop attacking, actually forking my rook and knight. Um, yeah, and this is why I didn't want to continue calculating because I was worried it was something like this where I wouldn't have calculated this because this doesn't Like I just wouldn't have been able to calculate that. I wouldn't have thought of what if I take this and then they attack my rook. Like I just simply wouldn't have thought like that. I was thinking along more forcing lines. Um, and it doesn't feel like I'm trying to find a good win here. I'm just trying to probably not get owned. That's not it either. Like I have to, I'm not letting them take this with the bishop. I don't have a forcing enough move to prevent them from just taking it and winning. Um, so I have to protect it. I just can't figure out where I'm supposed to move it to. Is I mean, at this point, it's probably really hard. I tried that. I've tried like I feel like I've tried everything. I'm just gonna look up the solution, man. Oh right, they were yeah, they're forking me. I should have remembered that. Yeah, because I had to prevent the fork by getting. This is how I diffused the fork basically, and now I'm still under pressure. And probably this is the move. Yeah. So this was just a puzzle where I kind of had to evaluate that I was actually not in an advantageous situation. Like I don't know. It's really hard for me to understand that one. Okay. Um, I'm really trying to understand why they move their queen here. I wish I would remember if they take a piece or not. I should try to figure that out. But like, why did they move their queen out here? What is it? They connected their rooks and they have pressure on h2. That's all decent. I mean, but I gotta tell you, I don't. They're also defending the knight. I guess I can understand this as a move that feels like to me a good developing move, but not necessarily something that creates a big threat. So maybe I'm just trying to find how to punish them not creating a big enough threat or something like that. Um, yeah, so I have a double attack on that square, but it's defended twice. That could be, with defending with the queen is, and also this getting opened is relevant. Say I take with the bishop. Um, oh, and it's a fork. It's a fork. Yeah, okay. So I take with the bishop. If they take back with their bishop, I take back with knight, forking the rook. Um, wait, no, I'm fucking this up, right? Yeah, I'm fucking this up because I've already lost my pieces. Like I've taken already, so they take back. I get the fork, and they just go, okay, cool, and take it. So, but I think it's worth noting that this threatens. This is a fork. Oops. So if I can remove the defender, basically, but it's tough because there's two defenders. Um, what if I start with the fork? Actually, no, they just take with the bishop. I take with the bishop. They take it. Okay. Can the queen get in somehow? Not really. Worth noting actually. Oh, this is just. I mean, we're okay. So this is check, and then these queens see each other, but this is defended. So, and they can take back. Well, they're not going to take back the queen, but so they're going to take back with the bishop. Then I take their queen. then they take my queen, and then I take their bishop. Is that just what it is? I win the exchange basically. So check. They take my queen. Wait. No, they can't. They can't take my queen. It's check. Check here. They move. Like what did it say here? Hold on. Check here. They take back with their bishop. Check there. They take back with the bishop. Then I take the queen. Then they take my queen. Then I take the bishop with my bishop. I think that's it. That's gotta be it, right? Yeah. How is that only 1,000, dude? Oh my god, dude. I felt really good about solving that, and then it's just like a new puzzle, and it's like, oh, okay. But still, at least I got it. Whatever. Black to move. I think the problem, like that only did take me 4 minutes. I think the problem was the way I approached that puzzle. I was like assuming it was one of the really tough ones, and so even I just all I actually had to do though was see like the knight move was the most forcing move and try to calculate it. Like that's what it was, you know. And I just was, I just didn't believe that that was the move, and I didn't want to calculate it, and so it took me forever to try it. I think that's you just got to get in the habit of always checking the most forcing move first and fully calculate it before you try other stuff. So, in that spirit, let me do that here. Check here. The only legal move from there is knight f1, and then hmm, then I play queen h1. Um, because the it's not defend it's not that square is not defended. But after that, it looks like the king just goes to e2, for example, and I have zero reach on e2. Like I can't do anything to get the king on that square. And then also, their rook is looking at my undefended queen, and their rook is defended by a bishop. So I'm really not seeing how that continues. So I go in for check, they move, I give another check. They move their king to a really safe location where I can't hit it. And then my queen is under attack from their rook. And I have to move it out of the way, and then they have full initiative. And I haven't actually accomplished anything by doing that. So that just feels like that's not the move. But it's kind of bonkers to me with this setup that not being the move is like is it's kind of just wild that that's not move. And what I've done is I've calculated the best move for my opponent in every turn, and it feels like it just ends with them in a good spot if they play their best move. So like they go king f1, I play queen h1, they play king e2, and that then I have my queen here getting hit by the rook. and their king is here, which is I could sack a rook to get in there, but it's defended twice, and then I still have my bishop. Maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe I need to remember my bishop here. I don't see how it matters. Even bringing the bishop in wouldn't like significantly change a thing. It would actually just do nothing. Okay. So that just feels like it can't be the move because that just feels too good for my opponent. That I would do all this shit to put my opponent in like a spot where they just get the initiative. And can probably trap. They might even be able to like trap my queen, and I don't know. It just feels terrible for me. Um. So, what else can I do though? Take the queen. They take back with their pawn. Their king looks really exposed, but I would have to rook lift to get to it. The bishop would have a sacrifice available, which shouldn't be relevant considering that that's my only piece that can reach diagonals and my rooks are not open. So to me, it feels like if I do queen takes, pawn takes, it just puts us in a spot where I guess I have like bishop g3 attacking this rook. Um, but I don't see a continuation off of that that does anything. Like the rook just moves and attacks my bishop, and I actually can't defend it. Yeah, I can't defend it even. So I don't see a continuation from there that's actually good. Um, this is so hard. This just feels like such a hard one, making me think again that I need to just recheck this or something because like how can this not be it when it's such a forcing pattern in a puzzle? Unless they just like built that in as a trap. Let me check something. Hold on. So what if when I go like okay here, 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 oh, what about this? I fuck, I'm so confused, dude. I'm so confused right now. But what I was trying to figure out is if I could bring my bishop in like this or something. Um, like here, 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 here. And then my queen is sitting here. And I'm thinking I go, yeah, what if I go back to h2 and the threat is that I bring my bishop to g3? Like that's my threat. Because at that point it will be a check on the king with getting my bishop into a relevant spot where I like have it really defended and stuff. Okay, it's been enough. I'm gonna actually just try that. I think that might be the line. Um, Yeah. So like, so this is what I thought would happen, and then I play queen h2 because it allows me to bring the bishop in a way that is like that's not it. I was confused on where the check is actually. So when I go here, how good is that really? If they Yeah, how good is that? Because if I go there and they just say they just go here, now I have a queen here and a bishop here, but the bishop's not really pointing at anything. And my forcing move is like queen g2, but which forces them to take, but I can't take back. And at that point I have nothing. Like I don't have any follow-up. Oh shit, this is pinned. This is pinned. Does that make a difference? No, it doesn't, right? Well, it might if I actually calculate right now. Like I have this right now, for example. So yeah, yeah, this is probably the line which I would have not seen visualizing actually. Like I just wasn't during my visualization, I wasn't rendering this part of the board. I was only looking at like I just forgot that the king was here basically. Okay, so I can play check. Oh, this wins the queen. That's just it. Yeah, okay. How is that only 1157? Fuck, man. Again, I guess it's the same deal. It's like you just have to if you're willing to calculate like you if you're willing to calculate the most forcing move as far as you can, you'll see the reward on those lower rated puzzles, I guess. And I just wasn't going far enough. Um I guess it also helps a lot to kind of like really, really try to find something better than the forcing pattern. And when you can't, it's like, okay, well, I think that's got to be it then. And in a real game, that's a lot harder because in a real game, there's not going to always be a guaranteed way to find a reward at the end of a forcing sequence. That's not always going to be possible. So, um, Queen F2 looks like it might be good, but I think because it's actually threatening checkmate. Yeah, Queen F2 threatens checkmate. So what do they do in response to that? What dude, can they do anything? I feel like that just has not there's nothing they can do. Or am I misreading? I fucked something up, didn't I? Queen F2. It does not threaten checkmate. What am I talking about? It does not. No, no, no. I was missing I was confusing the diagonal like this or something. Knight so Queen F2, they can yeah, what do I do? What can I do from here that's actually threatening them? Everything is defended. Yeah, like actually just like everything is defended. So I get in here, but everything's defended, so whatever. Even like here, they can just take with the rook. Um, and once they take with the rook, dude, I lost my train of thought so hard right there. It's like so hard to do this calculation, man. Like, okay, so if I go here, what I'm trying to figure out is, do I have any, like, how good is it to just like force my way in like this? What can they do in response to this that is good? Or also the other question is just like, if they just ignore this completely, can what can I do to make this good? And the problem is I'm not really seeing anything to make this especially good. Like this is sacking my queen to win a rook. I'm so confused, dude. Hold on. So I go here, check. They have to take back with the rook. Then I take the rook. It just looks like there's no threat there, man. Like I just don't see a threat. Is my problem. Like if I go here and they just ignore this and I go for this forcing sequence, it ends with me down a queen and their king not being actually attackable. So I'm kind of at a loss here. What if I just took this? Either way, like what's the trap there if I take that? They've opened up an attack from their queen, but it's pretty defended. Like, but I'm just questioning what was this point of this move in the first place. Like, I hadn't really looked at that. Um, I mean, it looks like I probably don't want to take with the pawn just because it's going to mess up the pawn structure. It's just not a good, like, they have a threat with their pawns, and I don't want to create a big opening or something. So if I just took back like this, it just seems like ridiculous, though. Like I take back like this, and then like what? How is this? Isn't forcing. This is just like a take back. And so I have no idea what they're gonna do after I take this back. Like I actually have no idea because it just feels you know like they could just do anything. There's no tension on the board that I can read. So I think I'm honestly just I'm just so have no idea. I'm just gonna take this back and hope it's right. All right, let's try my other idea. Also wrong. So I could have calculated both of those lines for like 20 minutes, and those to me were the most obvious things to do. But apparently there was I have no idea what the other line was, man. It's obvious takebacks, but I don't know, man. I just don't know what it's supposed to be. And oh shit, dude, I was like, I could not see this. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Oh, there's a check. Okay, so I didn't even see the check. Like that's really bad to just not have calculated. There was a check and I didn't even look at it. That I would have calculated this. So let's see if I would have got it. Check. Where do they go? Oh shit! It's just checkmate. For real. Well, no, it's not because check. They can take back with the pawn, and then this is checkmate. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. That was a cool one. I wish I would have calculated that. Like if I had seen the check and checked it, like and figured out the line, I would have found that. But I just somehow dismissed, or didn't notice the check, honestly, which is pretty bad. This is just like bad board vision. Um, Looking for checks. I mean, obviously there's a few checks that look really really bad that I just don't want to look at right now because they look so bad. I'm trying to see if there's better ones. Yeah, like this one's better. Um, so bishop e5. If they go to h3, I play queen h1, and that's checkmate. Right. Okay. I think that's just it. I've trying to be more confident in this calculation. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay. Well, we have a thing that looks good after this check is over, but I didn't realize we were being checked right now, so it was actually ignoring what their move meant to do. All right, so if I wait, what was I even? I'm questioning everything right now. It was okay, this. Yeah, so if I take this back with the rook, and they take back with the rook, and I just do this, it's the same calculation. I get the same checkmate. So the only question is like by me taking back here and them taking here, does that change anything? No, it doesn't, because I can still have a forced mate. So that should just be it. Oh, right, yeah, take back. Shit, dude, really? Really? Why not? If I go here, they can't go here. So they have to go to H. Okay, well, yeah, let's look at. But no, why? No, 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 no. Why not? Because I want to see why not. Like they they can't go up. They can't go diagonal. They only can go to here. So after they go here, I play queen h1. And what are they doing? Right? Am I missing something here? Like they don't have squares to go to. Oh, they can go here. Oh shit, yeah, okay. I just missed that they could go there. Because they by getting down here they got a little bit more room to maneuver out of check sequences. And I just missed that. Is it really just something stupid like this? Yeah, okay. I think if I go here, there's a risk they're just gonna go like, oh no, they can't get me for there. I think that just must be it then. Somehow I didn't calculate this though. Like what? Oh my god, dude. I think he's gonna take everything. Like this is a crazy like sequence that I don't expect to happen at the end of a puzzle. Like this is insane. Like what is my goal here? Like am I just trying to not get checkmated or am I trying to like still find a tactic, right? Like I don't even know. This is so insane. What? How? What? Did I try everything already? Oh, I can block. Yeah, okay, fuck, dude. I can't believe that's only 1283. That just feels such like higher level. Hmm. This is like, I'm just seeing nothing at all. There's actually no checks at all. So it just doesn't look like I have anything I can do aggressively. Um, the only thing I'm seeing is this bishop is hanging. Uh, I think the thing you're supposed to calculate on this one is like when you take back and they do this, what do you do? I think that's like the puzzle, right? The only thing is like, oh, this isn't even hanging. I'm fucking, oh, shit. Like, okay. So that's not even hanging. And oh shit, I don't, fucking Christ, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, I wasn't actually trying to make the move. I just was trying to demonstrate like something, just click it or whatever. Um, so yeah, if you take this back, oh no, what I was trying to show is that if they move the bishop, is what I was trying to show. It's a revealed check. Um, and it looks like you probably get, do you get checkmated from that though? What if they go here? You're at risk of getting checked back ranked basically, right? Is that what it is? It's not a revealed check though. I'm gonna have to stop doing this. I'm getting brain fried on this. But it's not a revealed check. It's like you're revealing an attack, which isn't even an attack. Um, yeah, it's not an attack because this doesn't inherently create any threat. So like you do this, I guess it kind of does because like just in the idea like if I take back and then they take back, it's just worse for me because I no longer have a rook. So like if they go like this, like what am I gonna do? Would be a question. They go back here, what am I gonna do? Move out of the way, I guess. I don't know, dude. I don't. This is so hard. I'm just gonna look at the hit. Something with the queen. That's like, is it just being really defensive or something? Just like getting the queen into the game. No. Does this do it? So I don't know. Is there actually an attack I just completely overlooked? It's kind of wild if there is. I really don't see a thing I can do here. I guess this is a checkmate threat, but no, it's not. I can't go there. I just don't see it, man. This is insane. Like for the life of me, I can't. Oh, it's the. Oh fuck, dude. Oh yeah, because this actually threatens the checkmate. Okay, I couldn't find it. But yeah, that's a move that threatens checkmate, so they have to react to it, and I didn't see that and calculate it. So now if I see that and calculate it, by them doing this, they actually lose their queen. Yeah, so I can see why that one wasn't so high rated, but at the same time, I really didn't catch that. All right. I mean, this looks like the. obvious, like that's it move. They play king b8. Oh fuck! I don't know if my thing charging. I guess I'm done.